Alright, looks like we're good. This is, I believe, episode 58 of Tim's Two Cents. What I did last week, I did record something. I didn't send it to Daniel because I kind of flip-flopped on whether or not I put in a little bit too much identifying details about an event I attended. I'll put that out along with this one probably, so hopefully Daniel can just put them out one after the other, get those out there, and you guys can hear about the wonderful times I've been having. Thankfully I have not been kind of coerced into any kind of social engagement since then. I've successfully avoided any of those, as you know, is the real key to a happy and fulfilling life, is to completely avoid people who you don't want to talk to, because, you know, that's how you become a better person. This is Tim's Two Cents. I am brought to you in part by, but not really, mostly just as an affiliate link, Mount Baker Vapor, their vaporizer shop. You can go to them for batteries, batteries, atomizers, the juice specifically. They have their own juice they sell at a slightly reduced price, and then also they sell a few different brands. They don't, as of now, let you really customize exactly the mixtures, which is most of my reason for going to them, but they still offer a little bit more than, say, like a regular vape shop would that you have to go to. Mouthpieces, whatever they're called. I always forget what just tanks, I guess, but tanks aren't necessarily the mouthpiece, because people like to make these convoluted, because like anything else, any other hobby, any other thing, it's just another way to sink your money into something. But anyway, not to get too negative on that, you can go to tim.town/clouds. Anything you buy from there then will give me a little bit, and it'll also tell them that I'm a super influential person who's getting people to buy their stuff. Our main sponsorship, and this is for all of our shows now on the YMB network, is eToro. And first off, I want you to go to youmeandbtc.com/trade. Sign in through that. Let them know that you heard about them through us. You didn't hear about them through Alec Baldwin. You've never heard of Alec Baldwin. If you consider Alec Baldwin, it actually makes you feel bad about yourself. But you heard about them through YMB. So again, use youmeandbtc.com/trade. At eToro, it's a social trading platform. So they have existed since before Bitcoin. They're not a new company that's we just need to focus on Bitcoin right now. And then there's always kind of the question of when they're just going to leave because they made enough money. They're a business. They're an established business. They're not just making money because of it being a crypto boom. But they do have all your favorite coins, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dash. As far as our weekly competition I'm having with Daniel, my favorite is Stellar. So I say go do that, so then I at least win our competition, which that brings up another thing. If you go in there, sign up again from youmeandbtc.com/trade, you can get, if you switch your dashboard, if you switch your eToro profile over to virtual currency, you can get $100,000 of virtual currency to try your hand at the market. Someone like me, this would be probably the biggest selling point, besides just how kind of streamlined and how very simple it is to use, is just this. It's not a cushion. It just lets you practice. And it lets, instead of having to keep track of that in your head where you go like, well, what if I had $5,000 and let me check the market and I'll mark this off every couple hours? It's a lot of work. So just use eToro's virtual market, and you can kind of get your hand at looking at graphs, charting things, seeing how things are going to go, and predicting on that and how you want to trade. And then you can see if you want to get into it. I'm not doing too well in the competition with Daniel, but I am still doing better than him. So take that as you will. But again, all these things, go to eToro at youmeandbtc.com/trade and let them know that you love us and you want them to send us all of their money. Again, anything I've said has not been any kind of trading advice and is not legal advice either, and it's probably none of this podcast is good advice. Absolutely. That's absolutely true. But please do not take any of this for trading advice. I am not qualified for that. Thank you. Anyway, This week, now last week, like I said, I just kind of bitched about a wedding, which is a little cheap. I mean, it's very easy to do that, although with how much people complain about couples and about going to things like this, I don't really like how they kind of give a pass to weddings then. Like, couples are terrible. They're just disgusting out in public with each other, and it's just miserable, and I don't want to go to your stupid baby shower. But then, when these people show up to the wedding, oh, it's so much fun. Oh, this is amazing. This is great for you. And it's like, you lying cunts. Anyway, I don't think we should give people a pass, but I do understand the whole that you need to be a little bit, or I probably need to be more happy, less negative constantly, because unless you deal with me on a more of a consistent basis, and even probably if you do deal with me on a consistent basis, it just looks like a whole big long stream of misery, and well, when is this guy just going to kill himself? When is he going to get it over with? He doesn't like anything. He doesn't like going out any place. He doesn't like going to weddings. He doesn't like marriage. He doesn't like whatever. But I mean, I do think in my head, and I don't know if I have to have said this before, where, I mean, the vast majority of what I say, regardless of when it is more for my own entertainment, which isn't the best mindset to go into doing a podcast, but I mean, if you listen to this and you enjoy it, there has to be something where you're kind of getting the joke, which is, if anybody does like hanging out with me, it's because you kind of get that I'm not as much of it, it's not even a piece of, I don't think I put myself out as like a piece of shit or a complete asshole, but definitely he's just negative. He's very down about everything. He always wants everything to be bad. And it's not that. It's not that I want things to be bad. It makes me feel better about my own situation, which that's not healthy, but also it's just more fun for me. I don't like I would rather err on the side of shitting on someone in front of their face or on something they like to their face, instead of just doing what seemingly everybody else does, and I do, admittedly, talking about people behind their back and shitting on their situation behind their back. It wasn't really what I was going to talk about, but I'd be kind of interested, not really, I was about to say I'd be interested to hear from you guys, but not particularly, just because I want to keep believing that what I think is inherently true. Seems like, and maybe it's my age group, maybe it's it's definitely the people I'm around. I'm sure it's not everybody. I'm sure it's not everybody who maybe is in a better situation or has more control over their lives, more control over themselves, a better protocol or regimen in their life that keeps them from falling into the same thing where then they feel the need to bash somebody else to make themselves look better. But that is, I think, where there also is the difference, is I try not to shit on someone unless it's going to make me look better. And that'd be the main difference I see with just about everybody else, where, I mean, they'll shit on somebody to make themselves look better in a heartbeat, but they'll also just do it just to do it. I think there's not really any defense necessarily of what I do as well, I'm being better than them, I'm a nicer person, I'm a better person, but I think I at least in my mind, I have the excuse of utility, of going, well, this is going to help me in this situation. And I don't even just mean it as I make myself look better for a position, but just having something to talk about with somebody because they dislike someone or something, or if you just want them to do something for you later. And so then you're just like, yeah, no, that person is stupid. Look at them. How dumb are they? Why would they ever ask you for a favor? Hey, by the way, do you think you can do something for me? But it seems like, no, it doesn't seem like, I'm just going to say, I'm going to be very, definite about this. It absolutely and positively is. And there's absolutely no way that this is untrue. Everybody just bitches about everybody else. And it's not it doesn't seem like there's a lot of collective unity of any kind anymore. In every single group, there's one, you hate everybody on the outside, but then maybe this is because we're not like legitimately killing each other yet, but there's a lot of infighting then too, because the idea, it's whether it's political, religious, or ethical, like I'm even talking like I don't know, vegetarians versus carnivores or whatever, because the name of the game right now is public relations for you, whatever your cause is. It's not kill the other people and destroy everybody else who doesn't believe what you believe. The fight isn't a physical contest. It's who can make the other one look dumb, or who can make the other one look explicitly evil or very whatever. Like vegetarians would have just, I don't know, showing a video of a factory farm or whatever that is. Carnivores would be able to show that people lose their minds whenever they eat just grains and vegetables, and the bodies just fall apart, and you have bad teeth, and people don't grow anything. And then people are like, yeah, but there's vegan bodybuilders. And like, yes, okay, yeah, because he takes a lot of supplement. You can't, it's very difficult, especially as the average person working a job. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm vegan, I'm going to really work on being healthy. You're just like, oh, I'm going to get the tofu and the salad, or I'm just going to eat Twinkies. Those are vegan, right? Those are vegetarian. Well, Twinkies probably aren't, because it's probably some kind of gelatin. I don't know what the cream filling is. But because that's the problem, because the problem is image versus, like I said, a physical contest, the conflict is who has the better public image. So a lot of that kind of, and I've talked about this before, a lot of that, like the whole point of a group being, or not the whole point of the group might not be hating people, but one of the best ways to make a group stronger together is to hate people on the outside and kind of shit on them collectively. But unless you have an outlet for that where you can kind of get a, I don't know if reciprocal feedback would be the right, but like a repetitive feedback of, yeah, these guys are terrible. And then you get in a fight, and these guys are terrible, and you kill a few of them, they kill a few of you, and these guys are terrible, blah, blah, blah. And it turns into almost like a blood feud. And then the argument then and the hatred then is more over past like specific slights, not just that you're opposed religiously or whatever. Now, all of that energy of hating the person on the outside just goes to making the group more insular and more maybe insular isn't the right word in that part, but place. I don't know what I'm saying. It just makes the group smaller and smaller and more cut off and more specified as to who is the group, like who are Christians, and then you break down from that and you go into different denominations, like who are Catholics, who are Orthodox, who are Protestant, and you go into Protestant, and then you go who are blah, 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 and it just goes down and down and down and down and down and down, because people are like, well, no, these people aren't representing what we're doing correctly. And it's, I mean, I think you can kind of make an argument that there were definitely offshoots before and back whenever people were still killing each other over stuff like this. Not to say that people don't, but I'm talking about it on a much more mass basis. Same thing with the varying kind of thoughts and denominations of whatever kind. Not speaking strictly religious stuff anymore, but I would argue that probably the variance of denominations also kind of coincided with the slowdown of violence, and people started to go in, they were still wanting to be in groups, and like I said, there were probably all these denominations before, and there was like this one church in Bulgaria that ran things this way, and there were like, I think, I forget what the phrase is for it, but Gnostic or Gnosticism and those kind of things related, that was just real big over in Russia because of translations. Maybe somebody switched something around. Maybe the Russian language just doesn't hold the same exact tense it puts something in a different tense, and then it seems completely off. Where was I going with it? But I think that this kind of solidifying of these groups and these making them disparate, and there's this for this, and then there's always people to kind of fill it, because instead of us killing each other over these things, we just keep on living and keep on kind of finding out things that we don't like with the other person or the other group. And this is again where I have things written down, and I was like, I don't really know how much I want to talk about it, because it doesn't really seem to matter to me now because I wrote it down. But so who knows where I'm going with this now, but I think that would be the difference and like in my life, and not just my friends and who I would consider my friends, but who I would consider friends of each other. And in the most instances, people don't really seem to be too great of friends to each other. People seem like they try to avoid their friends almost as much as they avoid their family, or like a wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, where they're like, I gotta go spend time with them. It's like, what? Wait, why? Are you dating? No, we're just friends. So I know what that means. No, literally, we're just hanging out, and because people get this, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's people actually get comfort out of other people, or if they're just kind of craving well, you're going to look at me and you're going to make me feel like I'm real again because all I do is listen to podcasts. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. No, I mean, that's probably how I would feel, I guess, if I was less autistic about talking to people, where I don't really get more afraid of people in public just by not talking to them. I can become less confident other ways, but normally if I go like a while without speaking to someone, the first time I'm going to talk to someone, I'm not like, oh, wow, person. I'm more just angry at them because I've been inside my own head for so long, convincing myself that everybody else around me is against me or whatever, something like that. But I think just the figuring out and finding a person that doesn't really care what you say or what you do, maybe necessarily in that moment, or what you believe, that's going to be the only kind of friend you can really have, because it's not based off of, oh yeah, cool, you like this thing that I like. It might be based off that originally, but I think a real friend that you have is someone that you kind of just agree. You're just like, yeah, no, I like them as a person. They're better than other people, and not in a ironic, like, my friends are the best ever. But in a, I don't give a fuck about other people. This person could, and again, not in an ironic way, this person could kill somebody, and it's not that I would believe what they tell me. It would just be, okay, well, I guess I have to do something, because part of my outlook on life, part of my way of looking at life just sees this person as more valuable than other people. And I mean, that's really the only kind of friendship you can have. If it's anything else besides that, if it's proximity, then you're just hanging out with these people because you have before. You're just kind of there because you talked recently and because you texted recently. I do not like people that text me consistently, or I hate even more people where it's like, oh, we haven't talked for a while, and they have to spend the first 4 text messages going over that you haven't talked to them in a while. And it's like, yeah, well, this was why. It was because you're such an awkward fuck that whenever I start talking to you again, then you're just like, oh, well, how are you doing? It's been so long. Just, why does it matter what I've been doing? Just, if there's anything important, I'll tell you. If you're worth me telling you, like, because a lot of people have relationships that end up just being about spending a night. And I don't even mean that in I just need to find love in somebody, but they're just bored and they want something else. They're already doing something else. Nobody is texting you and just sitting there on the couch. They're already watching the television. Music is on. Probably somebody's screaming outside of their house, because that just seems to be what happens around the only thing that's really actually happened around my house recently was from about 4 p.m. today till about half hour ago, there was just a van sitting outside of my house just running, and I didn't really know what to do. I went and worked for a little bit. I came back. It was still there. I had to take the garbage out, so I just wore my pistol, and I was like, I might get killed in the street, but I'm allowed to have this, so we'll go see what happens. And then they left. 10 minutes later, someone came, looked at their engine, and they left. I'm not really sure what was going on for the past 4 hours, but apparently they either got it fixed or they were bothered by me and then my roommate, which is the thing, is I'd gone to work, so I come back and I'm wearing like green cargo pants and a white undershirt, like a long sleeve, like, I don't know, like picture like one of the dudes from like Hunt for Red October or something like what they'd wear in like the middle of the submarine. And then he's wearing pajamas and I have a gun strapped to my hip and he's walking around in sandals. So it's a unique dynamic, I would think, that would maybe make some people question, one, if how dangerous them breaking into my house is going to be, and also how worth breaking into my house is going to be if there's these pieces of shit coming out of it. But anyway, yeah, people are just looking for something to spend their time with. And I mean, I'm kind of attacking this, but I do a podcast for that exact reason. I listen to podcasts to hear somebody talk. I listen to YouTube videos to hear somebody talk, but I don't drag somebody else into my stupid little emotional downfalls where I go, oh, I'm lonely. I've watched Netflix for the past 14 years. I don't know what I'm going to do tonight. Oh, I better text someone I haven't talked to in 8 years. All the internet stories tell me we'll have a wonderful rebutting of a friendship and it'll just go amazing, and we'll go out and we'll talk, and then we'll have all these new great adventures and memories that we'll build, and I'll get to remember things when I was younger, when things were nice and everything just worked out. Oh. Anyway, yeah, so I don't really know if there's a point to all of this. I don't really even know what I've talked about, because again, I had a bunch of stuff written down. I keep looking down at it to go like, dude, can I fit any of this in? And then I forget what I've been rambling about for the whole time before. But just don't engage in a lot of the shit talking that people have. One, because it's dangerous. That person, if they're doing that, can just as easily then go to the person that everyone's shit talking on and be like, yeah, no, I was over there the other day. And then, Tim just started just running his mouth about some stuff. I mean, I don't really know what his problem is, but like, so one, it's dangerous like that. They can do that anyway, but it's a little bit more convincing if people just don't know you as a person that kind of just talks shit behind people's back. But also because it's just, most time, it's not really useful. It's a way to take up time. And, if it's not going to be useful to you in some way, probably just disengage from most of the activity unless you're enjoying yourself. Believe me, I can understand enjoying shitting on people. I do like it. And there's something to be said if you're actually having fun and laughing at somebody, and I don't care how mean it gets, it's still enjoyable. What I'm talking about is where people are sad and they're just like, did you see what she's doing? Like, what's the matter with her? It's just so what? And then her burst eardrum and it's just, okay. So have fun, do whatever, laugh, giggle at people, laugh at people's misfortunes, do all that. I'm not telling you, I'm not trying to be above that. that's probably some of the only things that make me laugh are other people's pain. I'll put that very simply. But at least enjoy it. Don't just do this just for something to do. And don't do anything just for something to do. If it's at that point, then you can find something that you'd rather be doing. I would say probably do that. If you have a family, you have to make money. But if you don't, there's not really anything holding you back besides you worrying about any number of people's feelings or your own feelings. So make the weight up in your mind. Weigh things out. Figure out what is more worthwhile to you and what is more not even beneficial. Just what would you prefer? Would you rather in 6 years talk to this person? Would you rather go do that thing that they might not want to talk to you for after? You might not be able to talk to them after. It shouldn't be that hard of a decision to make. It shouldn't be that hard of an equation to figure out, because most of the time, the people that are going to be useful and are going to be helpful and are going to be enjoyable are ideally probably going to find the same thing about you. And people that don't are going to be the ones that want to waste 20 minutes of your day every day trying to talk to you because they really don't want to be at the gym. They really don't want to exercise, and they're just there to kind of make it look like they do, and so that someone else stops telling them to just go to the gym. So, I don't know, keep that in mind. Again, please go check out eToro and go to them through btc.com/trade and give me lots of money. Please always remember there is there's a donation address at the bottom of all of these down by the show notes, and if you send me money, it looks better so that Daniel understands that everybody likes me and that I bring all the listeners to this network, and he will give me the big bucks and I don't have to walk people's dogs anymore. So yeah, have a good week and bye.